Disadvantage, you know, that pyro is going to help you greatly. But it looks like we are finally live here. We have Syops up against Budsquad for this first matchup in our group stage of the GXL TF2 Invitational here. So here we go into this mid as we take a look. We're on board with Cole right now as he's adding a lot of pressure in towards that choke. SeanBud's trying to work something here, taking some heals, coming back into the fight. No frags as of yet. And TrukTruk with the rest of the team here for Budsquad seems to be back in the big door a little bit. The pressure has been added on here, but they are going to pick up 3 frags in the process so far in this mid. So it looks like Syops is going to be having to back up here as they are now down quite a bit. But Smack is going to say hello to Aussie on his way out. So that's going to be the mid over to Budsquad right there, and Smack actually able to get another onto Sezco there, but looks like they're going to be able to push into the second in pretty decent shape.
Yeah, it was kind of a, you know, Syops ran a good mid rollout to counter things, but the Whisker Biscuit with a nice jump, kind of just diffusing the situation. Whisker Biscuit on top of Charisse and takes her out. That is a big pick. Syops has gotten some frags on the side. They actually killed SeanBud as well.
TrukTruk got forced too. And TrukTruk did get forced too, actually. Now he's been forced to run himself all the way back here through Big Door to meet up with Aussie if he can. The spawn's now coming in for them. At least they're getting the forwards here, but things not exactly in best favor for them right now. Actually, Sezco was able to get one there onto Nonis. So here they come straight back into the mid, though. They're going to keep the pressure up. Uber's pretty much even at this point, as they're still trying to work their way through. It looks like Syops is just going to go ahead and back off here. Kind of this back and forth action so far in this game here.
Yeah, definitely, which is great to see. And one of the things that I love about Goalie Watch, you see a lot of flips in between the second points for both respective teams. SeanBud and the Budsquad are trying to lead forward here on a second. SeanBud up top, while Syops kind of split. A couple players upper, Nonis on the ground here. Somebody coming out of lobby. Troll F Muffin gets a kill on Whisker Biscuit, which is swapping the roamers. Sezco under duress as well, as a lot of players going on top of him. But SeanBud gets the point captured, and Syops has to back up here.
That black box for Control F Muffin, I think, may have just saved his life, actually. He got launched up in the air and nailed a shot into him to finish him off, and it gave him enough health, I think, to not crater.
Oh, that's
which was pretty cool. I'm not sure if he was going to crater or not. It was close, though. But here he comes, bombing back in. He was actually able to take down Whisker Biscuit, but then falling there. So looks like both teams are going to have a full Uber right now, getting ready. They're each down a player. Nonis is up top. He's over.
Yeah, Syops actually a very forward hold, just keeping lobby locked down. Boulder's got a trap there, does dead it, which you know, teams are usually call that sort of thing demo dead, but nobody coming through the lobby door now. Smacka starting to push through upper. They have the Uber here, wouldn't necessarily want to use it unless they really can't get out there. Oh, what? Dropped Smacka. I thought that Charisse had saved him there.
Oh my. Both Ubers getting exchanged here in River. It looks, it's going to be questionable. Boulder taking down TrukTruk with the pan, and they're going to be able, Cole's still in here. They're going to have a melee fight over there. Boulder getting another one with the pan. Oh, gotta love it. And the taunt to boot. So that's going to be, Syops is going to hold that one off there. They get the second point back, and Budsquad's going to have to regroup now. That was fun.
Yeah, some good pan action there from Boulder. And a nice play from Syops. You know, that forward hold did work out for him because they were able to punish things in that river. Dropping Smacka was unfortunate there. In the end, it did work out. Control F Muffin making some clutch plays to secure the point as well. Syops pushing in, trying to get middle here. Smacka is down. There goes Control F Muffin. They have done a little bit of damage. I don't quite know if it's going to be enough, though, as Charisse does have to back up. She's alone. Boulder's at choke, and he's going to have to jump to try to get back to lobby. Runs into Sezco, though. Sezco takes him out.
That was unfortunate for him right there. Sezco's still sitting over at that big door, though. He's going to be pretty hurt. Going to have to go back and get some heals, but it looks like that Uber's going to start getting build up here for Budsquad, and they're going to have about a 30% advantage to work with. Smacka getting into lobby, though. He's able to get one, going for a second, taking a lot of damage, going down. Steve C's actually on Spy right now, seeing if he can make a play, which is interesting, but it looks like the full Uber's up here, and he's going to Uber both the scouts in, flashing back and forth, seeing what they can get, and Aussie's going to be able to get one there onto Nonis, and now the scouts still aggressing over there. Steve C's actually on the pyro, though, and TrukTruk getting an arrow out there as well, but looks like Syops pretty much able to hold this one off for the most part. It's going to be pretty tough. SeanBud's still in, and the counter pop comes in for Charisse there. She's going to use that and not going to be able to do too much there. Budsquad getting him held off. Pretty interesting last hold. I think the Pyro seemed to be a bit effective for them there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention as well. Steve C did a good job getting some damage out there. Syops actually wants to get aggressive here. They have a slight Uber disadvantage, but TrukTruk had to run away from that engagement. It wasn't really healing the whole time, so it's only about a 20% difference. If they're not actively fighting, it won't make a big deal. Syops is pushing out here. Steve C goes down. Nonus does pick up a frag, though, so the teams are even on numbers. They're still trying to engage here. Boulder, if he can get some good damage, they could win this fight still. Scout coming around on the flank. Boulder barely survives.
That was close. He almost got through to get that, but close but no cigar. Right now, Budsquad down 2 players at the moment. They're going to pop the Uber in through lobby right now, but Charisse is going to be up on the Uber very shortly here for a counter pop. I don't think this is going to work out too well, and here it comes. They're going to pop back, and they're going to have some numbers as well, as now Budsquad is down a couple of players, and they're just going to have to back the train on up. Steve C is in, though, but going to get annihilated by Sean Bud. And Nonus is going to come in as well, kind of bleeding off right now. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what they're thinking at the moment, but they just continue to bleed there, and Boulder was taking some damage as well. But now they're going to be looking pretty good, I think, for this last push here, possibly.
Yeah, that was a very tense hold by Syops. Charisse must have just been holding down right-click, you know, and that'll pop the Uber automatically as soon as you get hit 100%, because she is very close to going down. Their aggression afterwards, I think, was the right call, the right intent, but weren't quite able to get it. Boulder hits a small trap on Cole, forces him to back out on River, and that is where the the Budsquad is set up.
They're still very aggressive into this lobby here, regardless of, I mean, literally all of Budsquad is sitting up towards River right now. Cole able to get one, going for more, lands the pipe into Nonus as well, so he's going to pick up 2 frags over in River, and right now they're going to have a 2-player advantage. Sezco did go down for them at the moment, but they have the full Uber, and I think they're going to go ahead and play this number advantage that they have as they pop Aussie in. Not going to be able to do too much, though, as the players run back into spawn. Control Muffin taking a lot of damage, just getting right onto the cap, though. Didn't even see that coming. Aussie getting on the cap. That's going to be a first round there over to Budsquad.
Yeah, that was well played by Aussie there. The Budsquad wanted to get in a little bit earlier with that Uber charge. Losing Sezco made him hesitate, then they got the frags. Aussie chased the demo man into spawn and then capped the point.
Yeah, well played by him right there. So taking a look into this second mid here so far, where we're going to see what Control Muffin can do as he's going to jump around. He's getting in over towards the combo. He's going to be able to get one. That's on to Cole. And Steve C was able to pick up a frag as well. So Budsquad going down 2, but Syops is down 2 as well at the moment. Aussie getting launched into the air and barely staying alive. But looks like Syops kind of getting bullied out just a bit. Budsquad out-aggressing them a little bit more here, and they actually get the mid cap as well, so now they're just going to have to go ahead and back up. But both medics did survive, though, so we're going to be pretty even on the Ubers here. And I think we're going to be seeing a fight right around choke here in just a second.
Yeah, they are pushing forward here. They don't want to let Budsquad relax for too long. Budsquad able to milk that Uber a little bit, though. Smack does get 2 kills. Boulder gets 1 as well, so this Uber from the Budsquad is going to be fairly ineffective. They don't have the numbers to push it. Whisker Biscuit jumping in. Just a matter of time before he goes down, though, and didn't get a frag on Syops. So Syops, great recovery there. The mid-fight, they got the first 2 kills. They gave up 2 kills, and then they had a health disadvantage. That's why they lost the mid-fight. There's actually players in the forward spawn. I think they actually might have just... Oh, no, Aussie's there as sniper.
Oh, yeah. Man. Syops really kept the aggression going there, coming in through big door and just rolling over him, and the sniper's going to get annihilated there as well. So that is going to be the second point over to them, and they're just going to take this number advantage. Well, they look like they were going to. Now they're just sitting in lobby. Yeah. Whisker Biscuit's up top over by balcony there, but he's going to go ahead and run away. So now things are pretty much going to be even here as both teams get their spawns back in. We're going to be waiting. Actually, it looks like Charisse is just going to take them right in here with that Uber as they're coming forward. TrukTruk not up on the Uber yet. They're getting some frags out. 3 down for them right now, 4 down, and they're going to be able to get that cap, and responding right away there is Syops.
Yeah, that was great. I was going to mention, obviously, you know, things are pretty busy. Didn't have time to jump in there. They decided to trade, okay, we have 90%, they're 2 down. Yeah. Let's actually get our Uber instead of pushing in. But then they had a very great push. TrukTruk went down at 92%, forced to rotate, then died. Let's check out this middle fight, though.
Taking a look at this one here. Control Muffin getting some big air to begin with, but Sezco's going to deny him. So player down from each side right now, as Smacka is in as well, but he's going to go down, and Sean Bud, he's just going to go ahead and rotate his way back around, but it's a pretty even fight right now. I think They have a one-player advantage, but the pipe from Cole going right into Charisse, taking her down, and that was a very well-placed pipe, exactly what they needed right there. And they're going to be looking good as they pick up this mid, even if they can get Boulder as well, who's still in choke, but narrowly gets away. I think Sean Bud's going to be able to pick that up pretty easy. Going to go for the Soldier as well, who's on second point, getting a lot of damage into him, and he's going to pick up the health back, still keep the bit of aggression towards him, but
Steve C going for a pick right now. Oh, right on top of TrukTruk. TrukTruk forced to pop.
Oh, very
Did
good.
eat the meat shot and popped in time. That is a great play because that's going to enable Syops to actually put up a decent defense here on last and actually have an Uber advantage as well. They might do this lobby hold once again if they can get some stickies established and heal up their players. Steve C about to spawn, and if they can keep things locked down until Steve C shows up, should be in a pretty good defensive position here. Steve C actually going engineer, by the way.
It was a huge play by him though to get that force, because I mean they would have been in a pretty bad spot if they would have been able to just roll straight through them with a full Uber there, and they still. Syops really likes this forward hold. It's interesting that they have the forward hold going on, yet they have Steve C sitting back with a mini sentry.
Yeah,
actually.
I was just talking with my good buddy Schachter, who's a fights administrator. Not playing in the tournament today. Love the Widowmaker Gunslinger, although I'm not completely sure about it in this scenario. Now, while discussing that, Charisse did pop the Uber charge, and they have forced out and captured second. Charisse takes some damage, but does have the health back in lobby. Known as banged up as well. He goes down right there, and they're backing up. Steve C had switched off the engineer, and there goes Sean Bud getting a pick on Charisse. The Budsquad have not captured second though, and Smack is standing tall on it. So they've moved past it. Now they have to double back, and Syops actually still trying to hold on to second here.
Yeah, his Control Muffin got a pretty good shot, but they're going to go ahead and wipe out here. So they still need to get the second point though. Nobody's been capping it. I mean, Sean Bud wanted to get aggressive there, but if they would have gotten that cap, they would have been looking pretty decent to maybe move in towards last. But now they still have a decent number advantage here, but now all the spawns coming through, and I don't think they're going to be able to do much with that. But regardless, they are going to have about a 25% Uber advantage to work with, so maybe something there.
Yeah, it's also a little bit easier for the offensive team to build it with like the Boston Basher, the self-damage from that. Because as the defensive team, you know, you want to keep that health up, you want to switch your heals around and keep everybody happy. The Syops as well, running without a scout. Scout a little limited on this last point. Still, of course, an amazing class. Here comes the Uber, though, from TrukTruk.
Steve C was actually there to deny it initially, but they're coming through. They have a heavy up as well. Nonus is on heavy. Aussie able to start things off by taking down Steve C, but Control Muffin adding the pressure from over towards over on the balcony there, and Smack is going to come in as well, and Charisse has that Uber, and they're getting ready to aggress them back. Boulder landing a pipe right in a Whisker Biscuit there over in River, and Aussie's going to be in a little sneaky spot right here inside of lobby, waiting to force. If they decide to go for this forward hold again, I think Aussie could definitely get a force here. I like the spot that he's playing. Let's see if he can get it. Sean Bud's down low in the lower lobby as well. Aussie's still sitting here waiting. This is perfect for him. Can he even get the drop? Gets the force though. And that was a very good sneaky play from him right there. So that's going to at least get the force out of him there. Aussie going down after the fact, but good on him to get that force out. And it looks like they've been building that Uber. They're going to have an 80% advantage, 85% advantage TrukTruk's going to have as they're about to push Big Door.
Definitely has to be called out by now as Boulder sees them all coming. Charisse taking a half health, can't get the pack. Pack is up now. Charisse rotating to upper with her some other members of her team. The Uber is out though from TrukTruk. Again though, they haven't captured the second point. So if they push all the way through here, it's pointless. Syops will have plenty of time to spawn. If Charisse can survive, she can actually just hide out and spawn until she gets spawns. No, taken out, needled, arrowed, excuse me, by TrukTruk. Big frag there.
Oh my. Literally, Sean Bud was just sitting there standing on the point. He could have, if they would have capped that second point, I mean, Sean Bud he was just standing on the point for a good 5 seconds. I mean, he would have just easily capped that. If these guys just pick up the second point, they'd be looking good. Now they're just back to square one here, kind of. It's just going to be spam fest coming back and forth through the shutters here. Steve C's getting aggressive, though, trying to get in on TrukTruk here, doing a lot of damage to him. Can't take him down, though, so that's going to be... Actually, they're still getting aggressive into lobby here, it looks like, but...
Kind of worried for TrukTruk here. I saw a little bit of splash coming up. A Control F Muffin actually playing pretty passive here, which is fine. He didn't want to get too aggressive there. Does give the Budsquad plenty of opportunity to recover and get healed up.
Oh my
TrukTruk drops.
goodness! Oh, gets dropped by Steve C. They had such a big Uber advantage too, and that is huge for them right there. That just stopped potentially a round-ending push, and now Charisse is going to have a full pretty Uber to come out with. Where did Steve C come from? I didn't even see him.
I think he might have jumped from kind of the right area where the demo man usually rolls out. I think he just kind of got behind TrukTruk there. And must have just blasted him at low health.
Whisker Biscuit's going to get a force. He played the same spot that Aussie was playing before, and they didn't check it again, and gets the force. So once again, playing the sneaky spots there, but crazy back and forth here. I mean, it's been a wild game so far.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, sometimes with TF2, we see the medics basically synced up. You know, the one team gets the Uber at the same time that the other team gets the Uber. This battle has been crazy because essentially, you know, TrukTruk is pushing in with the Uber, it's failing. Then Syops gets their Uber, they push into second, they cap second, and then they exchange the Uber advantage. Boulder gets really aggressive there, trying to get some more frags out on Choke, but Syops actually bleeding some players. They did get TrukTruk, and Charisse is backing up. I think she will survive, as Nona's still out there fighting. Actually, Charisse is kind of make sure she gets out of there.
Yeah,
she's gonna get chased down here.
She's all the way back right now. Yeah, she's gonna make it to spawn to meet up with the teammates. Luckily, they will have a at least Uber by the time that TrukTruk gets it. TrukTruk went down, so it was good that Charisse was able to survive and at least have that Uber. They'll have somewhat of a slight advantage here. Well, actually about 40% if they decide to work off of it. I think they're up on a Pyro. Steve C is liking that Pyro action. He's actually up in River right now, seeing what he can go, getting some reflex back there, but he's going to go ahead, not test his luck, and work back with the rest of his team. But here we are sitting with that full Uber. Is Charisse waiting here? Looks like they might be coming to take it into the lobby. They're kind of hesitant about it. If they're going to do it, they would have to do it soon because that advantage is just dwindling right now. But I think they're just going to go ahead and hold last. But Nona's on Sniper now as well.
And Steve C actually on Pyro as well. He wasn't there immediately. He actually just gets taken out. No real problem there. We'll see if that actually goads the Budsquad into attacking here. Looks like they will. They come out of the river side, the flank, and no players getting towards point yet. And this is going to be dangerous for Syops as there's not much on point. But they do get the Uber in time and able to defend against Sezco and Aussie.
Yeah, they just got way better at the fight there for him. I mean, Budsquad popping in over from River, and they really just weren't able to do much with it. Charisse got a lot of flashes off to the teammates, so they weren't really able to get much damage out to him, and held the point well and got the better of it, having a better Uber as well. So that leaves Syops coming back out to get the second point, and now they're going, the Ubers are actually going to be pretty even here. Looks like there's a bit of action going down towards Big Door at the moment. Just a bit of spam, actually. Steve C's waiting there in case anybody decides to come through and say hello, but I think we're going to see a bit of a stalemate here until both of these guys get that full Uber up and somebody makes that play.
And Smacka and Boulder on Choke with the medic Charisse, while the Scouts and the Realm are a little bit more orientated towards Big Door and the other flank. Now, that has just changed a little bit. But we'll see. Yeah, it seems like Boulder staying at Big Door right now. We'll see which way they decide to go. We also are at 11 minutes left on this European-style format. Now, here's the danger as well. If you're holding Choke really hard and the other team comes through Big Door, you have nowhere to run to. Charisse does have the Uber, pops it just slightly later than TrukTruk. Ubers are going to walk past each other, essentially, here. Boulder was stuck behind a rock. He's going to jump all the way around to River, and Charisse totally caught out there. Boulder, the only surviving member, he actually wants to fight this, and it's a pretty dire situation. They're going to need his help at last, and that's going to be 17 seconds before he comes back. This time, they've got a Scout on last, and they've already captured second. So,
yeah, very good play. They got second that time, thank goodness. So they were able to pick up that last point, but it's going to be 2-1 for Budsquad right now. As you said, time is ticking down a bit here. We're about 10 minutes left. Plenty of time to work with for both of these teams, though. So why don't you go ahead and take us through this mid here, Axel?
Sounds good. We're on Boulder, who has been doing pretty good work on these mids. He goes low ground this time, has gone Choke before, is going to run into the other Demo Man at Choke, takes a big shot, though, from the Scout. In trouble. Whisker Biscuit combining to get that kill. Steve C now jumping around, gets Whisker Biscuit, but Syops extremely banged up. Control F Muffin, the only one still in there, and he actually chases off the Budsquad. Both the Scouts were ripped and ran out. Smacka was ripped now, trying to get to that health back on Choke. He goes down. After the Budsquad recovers, then, well, they're like, okay, let's do this. And Syops gets the capture, but basically kind of bluff that one. You know, you got four players extremely banged up, and the Budsquad just didn't quite want to mess with it, ended up kind of conceding that point.
Yeah, they did give it up, but they do have a pretty big Uber advantage to work back into mid with here, so they're going to go ahead, pop that to save Cole and get Whisker Biscuit moving forward here. So we're going to go ahead, send them in towards big door, but nobody's really going to be there, just kind of used to bully them out of mid, whoever was left in there. And it looks like they're going to pick up the second point. Cisco is getting a bit aggressive out of choke, and it looks like they're just going to come straight out here. Whisker Biscuit jumping around, getting launched up into the air. He tried to get a rocket out and gets taken down right at the end there. Boulder using that bottle, and that's going to be 2 frags there. Budsquad down 2 players. And looks like they're going to be kind of on the bad end of this fight here. And the counter pop coming in from Charisse. And now they're really going to be able to do some damage out to them, sending the scouts with the flashes, letting them extend through. And a Sticky's going to eat Steve C right there, taking a lot of damage. But Cole narrowly staying alive. And we have Boulder up in choke at the moment as well, getting some sticks and pipes out. But there we go, mid going right back to Syops there.
Yeah, good job by Syops. Boulder backing out of that choke position, has to go back to the other side to get his health pack. Did get a good view of what was going on there, and definitely a great aggression from Syops to take that point back.
Here we go. Coming up here, TrukTruk has that Uber, and he's going to go ahead and use it, as they did have about a 30% advantage. Smacka getting absolutely launched into the air, is so hurt right now, and Charisse actually went down as well, so the medic down for Syops, and they're down 2 other players, as well as her being down. Sean Bud taking quite a bit of damage here. Sesco's laying back, and he's going to take down Boulder. A lot of players down right now for Syops. Sesco's still in, and he was going to go for, he actually sees a scout back here getting a lot of damage into him, and Aussie will clean up on that. So here they are on the second point, and they're going to have a pretty decent Uber advantage here, about 30% to push last with.
Yeah, definitely will get Steve C up again. Smacker going down as well. But you know, Syops just couldn't quite hold that second point together. Kind of just ended up getting a little bit sloppy around the edges. We are running no scouts again in this last hold. We got Nonus on sniper. We'll have a peek down at a scout, but the scout does just see him and run away. Nonus switches sides, thought maybe he might switch here. Here's the Uber is in, so Nonus is going to run back to switch. Smacka on heavy weapons guy. He's got the Tomislav out.
Oh my goodness.
Just traps Sesco the quarter.
And Boulder takes a pipe down there. He's on the point as well. Action still going down here. It's just Boulder underneath the point. I don't think it's going to happen. So another round of Budsquad there. 3-1 it is, and time is going to be of the essence here pretty soon, as we're down to about 7 minutes, and they need to get yet if they want to win this one.
Yeah, we got a crowd shot there. That was Sean Bud in the blue plaid shirt, looking fantastic. And yeah, Syops is going to have to roll this round to really keep things interesting here. And Boulder taking their choke, and right now putting some pretty good damage out, keeping things fairly locked down as the rest of his team is rallying in here. Boulder under aggression now, and it gets taken out. Syops Steve C is also pretty low. He's backed up with Charisse, and they are certainly going to be at a disadvantage now.
Ooh, yeah, they just plowed through him there on that mid. Luckily for them, Charisse was able to survive, so at least keeping that Uber that she had there. So, but that is going to set them up pretty much to hold last, as both teams will have the full Uber. The second point, actually still nobody's capped the second point. Aussie's going to get on it though. And Muffin getting aggressive over on Nicole and actually able to take him down over towards the river. So a good pick from them right there, but to no avail. I don't think it's going to do too much. But actually, the Uber was forced inside of lobby, which was that Steve that got in, and Steve C that got in and forced that again. I know he went down shortly after.
Probably. I'm a little unsure who it was. Pretty sure it was Steve C, and that's definitely a pretty big swing. But Syops have to be careful. Sean Bud's running a point, and nobody's going to stop him. He should have this. Oh, no, they didn't get it.
The scouts coming in to save it.
Nicely
done. Big from them saving that. It was close. But in future, they do need to be careful about that, as they were just wrapping straight through, and there was a lot of entrances not covered.
Yeah, and they use their Uber offensively there, and that's always really dangerous when you're holding last point. And at least what is positive out of this is Syops is still trying to find ways to go forward. You can't win this game by being very, very good at defending last. That's not going to win you the game, you know? And we actually saw that at Bite Slam with Radium's, or no, it was Street Hoops. I believe I was casting it with Radium. And Huey Lewis just trying to hold last. And they did a great job with it, but eventually it just breaks down. So that's why we're seeing Syops get a little aggressive here, especially with the where the clock's at. They need to get out here. They need to start making some forward progress.
Yeah, we're only about 5 minutes left now. It is TrukTruk. They had TrukTruk and the gang here had a pretty big Uber advantage. They're still going to take it in. Yeah, they're just going to take it in straight out of Shutter. And Steve C is up on that heavy weapons guy, and he will unleash hell on them here in a second once that Uber's out. And actually, though, 2 down for Syops at the moment, but 3 down for Budsquad, and the counter pop coming in, as we've seen here, back and forth, constantly on this last point here. One team comes in, pops it. Charisse getting shortly after, counter pops, coming back out, and this time they're going to get that second point, though, so going to be able to work into mid here, potentially. Yeah,
the building by Sean Bud is going to get them a 30% Uber advantage, which is definitely very workable. Anywhere over 25%, you know, you can generally pop, get in, track down the medic, and get the kill. So Syops' aggression does work out there. It was a good pop, good cleanup, good off-classing. But this has kind of been where they've struggled. When they're holding 2 and they're trying to push out, trying to find something to do, it's been tough. And this is certainly, you know, a tough second point to hold and a tough second point to push out of. The Uber is popped here. They're going to use it on the Scout. They're trying to chase down Charisse. She's going to be in trouble. She's got 87%. The Scout did just disappear. Oh, getting jumped on, though. Yeah.
Oh, that's unlucky. Just they couldn't do anything. There's only 2 up right now. Steve C on Spy, though. He's going to go for a crazy little play here, but they're going to be on last right now, Sean Bud.
Oh, my
Sean
God.
Bud and company, nothing they can do about that.
Oh,
Nobody
my God.
there to defend it. Oh, man. Oh, that was going to be 4-1 from them now. I'm not sure if Steve C would have came up as something like heavier than a Spy, he would have had a chance at defending the point, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he would have had to get on the point. He actually was, like, super close to getting a stab, which I was cringing over here because he's disguised as the enemy demo man while he's healing the demo man. You know, it's pretty easy to figure that one out. But 4-1, they're at a very big disadvantage. 3 minutes left on the clock. Mathematically impossible, unfortunately, at this point.
Yeah, it's just about time for the fat lady to be singing, I think, for Syops. But right now, as we take a look at this mid, once again, I think Syops is going to be on the losing end of that mid and just backing it up. Though, Charisse did keep onto that Uber, hold on to it at least, keeping at 90% here, and TrukTruk did go down, but Sesko keeping aggressive on him over towards River here, but I mean, at this point, it's, as you said, it's pretty much about said and done here. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. I mean,
yeah,
and they're still all the way on their end of the map.
I would love to see, for their sake, I would love to see Syops get aggressive here and try to get this midpoint. If they play goalie wash again, this is what they need to work on.
Yeah.
You know, because they've had a couple decent mid fights. They have retaken when it's still kind of up in the air. But, oh, there we go. Smacka getting TrukTruk, so that's definitely a positive.
Oh, Sesko just got annihilated by Boulder with a pipe there, but that will be, well, I guess they're going to go ahead and get that midpoint back.
Yeah, actually actually it was like 3 or 4 of the Sean Bud squad was all behind, or all pushing second. Charisse does go down to some great jumps by Whisker Biscuit. Just TrukTruk up, though, and he's all the way back at last. So, Syops have a minute and 30 to, well, basically get a consolation round here and take the score line to 4-2 in favor of the Bud squad.
Make it look a little bit better, and the Uber saw coming in there. TrukTruk landing that one onto Notice, and that's going to actually give them even more of an Uber advantage that they had before. And Boulder was trying to get in, just got a little too aggressive. Sesko was there to take him down, so I don't even think Syops is. Oh, they actually got in on the back cap there. I didn't see that one coming, but there they go. They at least got one round back here. We're down to a minute left. Not sure if anybody's going to be able to get much of anything here, but
no. Goalie Wash is potentially one of the faster 5 CP maps. Somebody could probably correct me more accurately, but I believe you could probably do Goalie Wash in like 1:15, while Badlands is like 1:30.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that's going to pretty much do it for this game right here. Just about 40 seconds left, but overall, you would said it from the beginning. It's Bud Squad really just they just came out aggressed, out aimed. It seemed out strategized. I mean, there was a couple times where Steve C coming up on Sniper, or not Sniper, Spy, where maybe it was. I mean, it's good. I like seeing those kind of plays, but maybe not. In certain times, it's a bit questionable. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I would definitely, I don't know. My thought on it was definitely the transition from when they had a second point stalemate and they're on defensive second. we didn't see him push forward too often, and that certainly factors into it. Goalie Watch is a map where you can lose the middle fight, and as long as you have an opportunity to reset, you can push forward again. You can work your way out of it. But difficult for Syops to do so in this game. But also these players, that was their first match of this LAN, of this event. So definitely a possibility that as these players warm up, we could see a lot more out of Syops. They're a team as well. We mentioned a few of their players haven't really played together before. And some of these other teams, as we see their chemistry improve, should see their performance improve as well.
Yeah, hopefully throughout the day here, once these guys get a chance to warm up and get things going for the day. But that's going to go ahead and do it for our first match there. Budsquad taking that one 4-2 over Syops. So I'm not sure exactly what we're getting into for our next match here. We're going to have to go ahead and talk with our guys back here and see what we're going to be bringing to you next. But any more comments?
Yeah, quick word before we get to a break here. We are in the group stage format here, which is great because all these teams are guaranteed 3 games. And then the bottom team is getting eliminated, so we are going to scratch 4 teams out of this tournament after we finish up with these 3 maps for the group stage. And then after that, we are going into a double elimination format. So as long as you can get through the group stage, you're guaranteed 5 matches, which is pretty fantastic for a LAN event. You know, if you don't get anywhere, as long as you get out of the group stage, you're guaranteed 5. If you lose in the group stage, you're guaranteed 3. So that's a lot better than some events that we've performed in the past.
Yeah, so everybody getting a chance to play some TF2 today, which is what we're here for, right? So everybody loves the game. So that's going to go ahead, do it for us for right now. We're going to go ahead, take a break, see what match we have coming up for you guys next. We'll see you in just a few minutes here for the GXL TF2 Invitational. See you then.